Hello there, my name's Chris Dangerfield and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, oh my god, your life will never be the same again. It has got worse. Not really, you're going to love it. Regulars will notice I've done a little bit of housework. What do you make of it? It's awful, isn't it? It's really hard trying to get the YouTube block in and it's all like lopsided and bad composition. So, you know, I've done my best to make that worse with a few odd boxes. Anyway. I've done a couple of videos about Chairman Mao's, Mao Zedong's communist China, and it's gone surprisingly well. I thought that they were going to be kind of dry, but the feedback has been incredible, and I really appreciate your feedback. People have written to me on Facebook and Twitter and in the comments down below, and I thought, well, all right, then I'll run with it. Special thanks to one of my subscribers, a bloke called Supersonic Dickhead. That's it's his real name. It's on his birth certificate for sure, because he's well, apart from corrected me a couple of times. Oh, and another person called Me Too corrected me. But I appreciate this shit. I don't know everything. I barely know anything. But it's handy to know get it right when that look how nervous I get when I know I've been caught out. Anyway. Thank you, Supersonic Dickhead, for reminding me about this little thing. I'm going to show you a video here. This is something else that happened in Mao's communist China. This is before the Cultural Revolution and before the Great Famine that lost between 30 and 60 million people. You can find out about that in my other Mao videos. I'm going to show you a little bit of this video. What do you think's happening here? Any idea? Well, I'll tell you. As well as the four olds. Do you remember I told you about the four olds that the Red Guard wanted to destroy in the Cultural Revolution? Old ideas, old beliefs, old cultures, old something else. Just they didn't like anything old. They just wanted to scrap it all. Well, there was also the four pests. And this is before the Cultural Revolution. The four pests were flies, mosquitoes, rats, and sparrows. Now, I don't know what they've done about the rats, mosquitoes and flies. Maybe I'll do some research. With the flies, you know what I like to think? Because there are people that use chopsticks. Remember in The Karate Kid when Mr. Miyagi's got his chopsticks? I think he's eating his dinner. And there's a little fly. And he gets it in his chopsticks. And old Daniel-san, he sees him and he's like, he keeps practicing. Then part of the story arc in the film later, he's like, dang, and he gets it. Well, I like to think that Chairman Mao said, you must learn to catch flies in chopsticks. And the whole of China was clearly that didn't happen. They could have done it for the mosquitoes as well. They could have got massive chopsticks and done it for the rats as well. But the sparrows is the story. That little video I just showed you was them making noises. No way. Chairman Mao said to the Chinese people, go out into the streets and bang your woks and shake your flags and shout and scream, make a noise, because the sparrows were eating too much of the rice crop, and you can imagine China needed a lot of rice. It still does. And the sparrows were helping themselves to too much. I mean, it still happens today. You look at any farmer's field, birds will fly down and eat the seed. It's a problem. So this was classic communist short-termism. Let's just kill all the sparrows. Because what happens is they fly around scared. They won't land. Their survival instinct gets corrupted. They get exhausted and fall out of the sky. Oh, look, I've got another little video for you. I've got rid of the sound because it's in a non-English language and it's just confusing. Watch. I mean, look. And you can imagine these videos were broadcast. The Chinese people are successfully eradicating of the pest of the sparrow. Banging drums, waving flags, up in the trees there, look. Dedicated communist he is, China. Look at them. Everyone was at it, look, proud. Probably playing a bit of Charlie Parker then. Now, the problem, of course, was they killed millions and millions of sparrows, and and at the end of the day, they all had to be taken into the local party headquarters. And if you done well, they'd be like, "Yes, Chairman Mao is proud of you." And if you didn't do well, they'd be like, "Oh, he's not so happy of you. You must do better for the party, for the country, for the people, etc., etc." However, nature's quite clever. Nature's been evolving to work as a whole. Get rid of the sparrows. There's nothing to eat all the insects, all the pests that live on the ground. And what actually happened was more rice went missing because, you know, there was the pests on the ground were worse. More rice went missing, and people have said that this project, the 4 pests, certainly contributed to the Great Famine, as well as the melting down of all their tools to make useless steel. And like I said, between 40 and 60 million people died during the Great Chinese Famine. They were eating each other's babies, for Christ's sake. I mean, this was radical stuff. I mean, I always find it hard because the European history is kind of, you know, there hasn't been any major breaks, major ruptures, really. You got the Second World War and the First World War, and there was massive differences, but they weren't happening here. The effects of them were certainly felt. I mean, this country's never been the same since the Second World War. So much changed, but there wasn't such, not like in the communist societies, not like an organised, radical notion of cultural difference, and not an intentional one, I think is what I'm perhaps saying. And like, I'll tell you another one, in Pol Pot's Cambodia. I mean, I love Cambodia. I've got such a place for it in my heart. I go there a couple of times every year. I love the place. I love the people. But what an insane history. Pol Pot, as part of his Khmer Rouge lot, he put the calendar back to year 0. Can you imagine what that does to a place? You know, it got to like, what was it? I don't know, 1978 or something, 79, fuck knows. I'm sure Supersonic Dickhead or Me Too will correct me. And he went, no, it's year 0. We're starting again. Can you imagine what that does to the minds of a whole people? And another thing he done was empty the cities. You know, as soon as the Khmer Rouge took power, he emptied Phnom Penh. All the troops went in, the Khmer Rouge went in and went, no, come on, we don't. All this city living is not right. You should be in the country doing agriculture. You should all be farmers and peasants. This is my great communist revolution. Can you imagine? And families just had to get up, grab what they could, and leave the cities, and they were like ghost towns. Insane. Imagine actually living that. And it's weird because when you're in Cambodia, you talk to anyone over the age of like 40 and they lived through this. And a lot of them killed people. You know, they were either Rouge or not. And a lot of them were. And I'll tell you what, the security guards out there with all their scars over their faces and eyes missing, fingers missing. Fuck knows what they got up to. Insane times. Well, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. It's an interesting story, whatever. So, Theresa May is going to tell you to get rid of all the sparrows tomorrow. Be lucky. Have a nice weekend. Or whatever time of the week it is when you happen to choose upon this video.